Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and a really good friend of mine has shared with me her portable design wall. Not only is it portable, but it's very lightweight and is really inexpensive to make. Her design wall is made with one of these tri-fold display boards, and these display boards are often used in childhood school projects. They're lightweight, they're easy to get, and they're very inexpensive. It's a big piece of cardboard and it's folded in three. And because it's folded in three, it can stand on its own. With the standing on its own, we're going to be able to use it as a design wall. And we can use different parts of it. And it's as simply as putting quilt batting over top of the display board. We can glue the quilt batting, we could double tape it, but we can also use a fusible fleece and iron it right on top. It won't matter what you put on the display board. It could be the flannel or it could be quilt batting, but be sure to test it to make sure that your blocks are going to stay on. There's no sense building this if those blocks are not going to stick onto that batting. And if it's a fusible one, be sure to test and make sure that that fusible is going to stick on the cardboard, and be sure to test that that front part that has been ironed has enough loft to it to hold those little pieces of fabric. I'm going to be using a fusible fleece, and it's fusible only on one side, and that way I don't have to worry about gluing this on. If you're going to glue it on, you can use a mixture of kids' school glue, but you don't need it really thick. We can water that down a bit and then cover your surface very thinly and put the quilt batting over top. You don't want the glue to come through to the quilt batting because then that batting is going to be crunchy and we need that softness to hold the fabric on. But with that fusible, it's going to be really easy. I'm going to take this fusible fleece and I'm going to iron it on both sides, front and back, so the entire surface is covered. And that way, if I want to use it with just the back, I can. If I want to use just one of the arms, I can. And if I decide that I want to use the center, I'm able to do that too. I'm going to put that fleece down, and I'm also going to put a pressing sheet over top of it and just press this down. I have that first piece of fusible fleece stuck onto the one side. Run your fingers along that fold to make sure that that batting or that fleece is in that fold. With the one side done, I'm going to turn it over and put the next piece on the back. The fleece on the front and the back are a little bit bigger than this cardboard, and I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to fuse those two pieces of fleece together all the way around. And then on three sides, I'm going to get the zipper foot and try as hard as I can to stitch right along the side of the cardboard. One side, I'm going to need a clean cut so that it's going to stand up. But the other three, it's just going to give it a little bit protection and help hold those layers together. So as I'm using it, there'll be no chance of this coming apart. I've pressed the two of these together and I want to run a line of stitching as close as I can to that cardboard. And with that zipper foot, I'm going to be able to run along that line, having my needle as close as I can to that cardboard. The cardboard is not fabric, it's not bendable, so I'm going to have to do some tricky sewing. And you might need to stand up and sew at the machine because there will not be enough space between you and the machine with this big piece of cardboard. So I'm standing to the side of the machine and the cardboard is on the opposite side. I don't have that much that needs to come through the arm, just this little piece that I'm stitching. I can still reach everything at the machine and my foot pedal is right over here underneath me. So I'm going to be able to just guide that. Having a flat surface is definitely going to help. And that zipper foot is running right along the side of that cardboard. I'm going to do one short side, then the other short side. The next, I'm going to do this one long side. I'm going to fold that one lip over, line it up, and stitch. That cardboard's thick enough that my foot is running perfectly right along that edge. I now have 3 edges stitched down, and that's going to hold that nice and tight. With the bottom, I'm going to trim right along that cardboard so I have a flat edge so that it can sit up when I need it to sit up. So that bottom has a really flat bottom. It comes flush right with that cardboard. Now I just need to do a little trim all the way around the 3 edges that I've stitched on. The fleece or the batting will take up a little room on both sides, so it won't lie completely flat. You're going to have to give it a talking to and just rub it. And that fleece or batting will stretch just a little bit over this edge and will compress in the crack. And do that to both folds. I now have a great big portable lightweight design wall, and my pieces just stick on, and I'm going to be able to bring this to the machine or put it wherever I need, regardless if I'm using the back or if I need to use a long side or the inside. The display board is standing up and it's hand-free, and I can bring it anywhere it needs to go. Thank you, Sue, for the great idea, and thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.